1 year ago, exactly like this moment, I was also standing on the stage. However, the red lights on the national television channel stage were much hotter than it looks on television. I was there, a high school student participating in Trường Tin, one of the most competitive debate shows in Vietnam. The giant countdown clock was right in front of me, ticking one by one. The judges were staring. My opponent had just finished a brutal rebuttal from the previous speech, and it was my turn. In that moment, I didn't just want to win. I wanted to make the audience feel the weight of my arguments. So I was high energized. My gestures were wild. My voice was strained. I believed that in order to be persuasive, I had to be expressive, raw, and unfiltered, somewhat like this. Well, you can see the emotions was outbursting, right? And I walk off that stage feeling exhausted but proud. I thought to myself, I had given it everything. And even though we did not win that day, I still couldn't wait to see the debate on actual television. And we all know that feeling, right? When we post something and we wait for comments or likes or encouragement from our friends. That was my exact feelings and expectation when the episode was aired. But I did one thing that every speaker is warned not to do. I went straight into the comment section. And this is what I found. Some people question my biological features. Does she have a long tongue? Is that a short tongue? Is that why she speaks so fast? Some people use sarcasm to tell me how unpleasant my voice is. Is she Chinese? Is she Korean? Why does she speak Vietnamese like a foreigner? And some were more direct. She's twitching like she's lost control. She sounds like she's about to cry. Why can't she just stay calm? Why can't she just stay calm? As you can see, no one actually cared about my arguments or how did I rebut the opposing team, but they cared about how emotional I was when I delivered my speech. These comments bombarded me, which made me realize a cold truth about our world. Expressing emotion online is seen as something cringe, as something irrational. If you speak too fast, you are unstable. If you care too much, you are unpleasant. If you are a person with a pulse, you are a listening test that people don't want to take. So I made a choice. I decided that I need to get rid of the girl from the VTV channel. I needed to become a calmer version of myself, the one who showed no emotion on stages. I decided to build a filter. So I began my training. Not training to be smarter, but training to be colder. I treated my emotions like some bug that needed to be patched out right away. I remember pinching my hands under tables during practices. If I felt a tear coming, pinch. Pain is better than crying. Pain is invisible. I recorded my voice. If I heard a crack in my tone, delete, record again, lower the octave, flatten the rhythm. And I thought it worked. I went back into debate. My posture was rigid. My fellow debaters told me that I've changed now, that I've become calmer, and I thought it was a great change, that I had completely figured out myself, figured out my identity, and I was safe from all of the comments, all of the hatreds online. But then something strange happened. I remember walking out of a debate round where I technically had been perfectly cold. I had won, I had more points, my team has exited into the next round. But I felt empty. When I was standing in the hallway, a student from the opposing team came up to me. I thought that he would be annoyed that I won. However, he just looked confused. Great job, he said. Then he hesitated. But were those actually your arguments? Or did you just repeat what an AI told you to say? I was confused. I wrote every word I said. He shrugged. I just don't believe you. It seems like watching a screen instead of a human. I kept waiting for you to breathe, for you to get angry, or just be real. But you never did. And that's when it hit me. I tried so hard to be a perfect machine that I gave the audience no reason to choose me over a real one. We are living in a society that value perfect, and anything imperfect meets criticism. But why do we still listen to speakers? Why do we still listen to TED Talk? Do we listen just for data? No, we have ChatGPT for that. We have Google for that, right? We listen to speakers to find a pulse. We listen to speakers to find emotions and connections. The tremor in a voice, the pause that lasts too long, or the raw conviction of a person who actually cares. That are the things that AI cannot copy. By filtering out the things that invited digital criticism, I had removed the very thing that invited human connection. I had filtered out my humanity. Which brings me to this TEDx stage today. In the past, I was a student fighting for validation. I was terrified of the comments, terrified of the hatred, and I tried to be another me, which were not real. On this TEDx stage today, I am a speaker fighting for connection. The difference is the filter. But this message isn't just for those of us who stand on stages. This is also the message for the ones who sit behind the screen. We are living in an era of digital critics. It is much easier to find glitches in people rather than growth. When we hear a voice crack or a face twist on social media, our first instinct is to judge rather than trying to understand the meaning behind all of those messages. Please look past the mess to find the real meaning behind every single brave voice that dare to speak. To all of the creators and the leaders out there, efficiency is for tools, impact is for people. Stop trying to optimize your humanity out of your message. Because the digital world will always tell you to calm down. The digital world will always find a glitch in your voice. Let them. If you stand up to speak and your hands tremble, let them be. If your voice crack because you are fighting for what you believe in, let it crack. Because your voice shake does not mean that you're weak. Your voice shakes because the idea you're carrying is heavy, and only heavy ideas are the ones worth carrying. Thank you.